Well, hello there, and welcome back to One Degree. My name is Tracy, and today is my birthday. I'm turning the big 3-8 today, and no, I'm not ashamed to admit that because numbers just really don't mean anything, right? Right. That's what I keep telling myself. But anyway, I know that some of you may use kind of New Year's Day, New Year's Eve to become all reflective about how your past year went. Well, birthdays are actually when I spend some time with the Lord, reflecting back over the previous year, kind of walking with Him through the ups and downs. I have a birthday tradition of reading through Psalm 139 because I believe it's the perfect birthday psalm. And so this year I spent some time again obviously just reflecting over the year 37. It definitely was not the year or it didn't go maybe how I had thought it was going to go. Can you relate to that perhaps? As most of you know, if you've read my blog for the past or over the past year, you'll know we moved a couple times. I also lost my mother to breast cancer, but so that was kind of, obviously I've been going through a lot of grief there. And so my word that the Lord gave me in January was the word settle. And you can find it in 1 Peter 5:10, depending on what translation you're using. But 1 Peter 5:10 says, "And after you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace, who has called you to His eternal glory in Christ, will Himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish or settle you." And I thought, man, what a perfect word for a perfect year when there were a lot of trials that my family and I walked through. But through those trials, I feel like God has settled me. And so anyway, as the Lord would have it, in church on Sunday mornings, I'm now going through the book of 1 Peter with my church family. And yesterday, the pastor shared a closing illustration that just really, I thought, summed up the year 37 to me, and really the challenge that God kind of lovingly put before me as I walked through the different trials that we've gone through. And so I just wanted to share it with you real quick today and see if it maybe speaks to your heart and challenges you, because none of us know obviously what the next year is going to hold or what we're going to be able to reflect on as we hit our birthday. So here was the illustration, and hopefully I get all the details right, so I might be a little off on some. But anyway, the gist of the story was there was a mom, and her teenage daughter was just really going through a hard season of life. And she approached her mother one day and said, "Mom, I just cannot do this anymore. Like, I just don't want to go on. All this is just too much. I can't bear it." And so her mom said, "Come into the kitchen with me." So her mom proceeded to fill up 3 pots full of water and placed them on the oven and turned up the heat. And in the first pot, she placed a carrot. And in the second pot, she placed an egg. And in the third pot, she poured in some coffee grounds. And again, she just turned up the heat. And they waited while the water boiled. And about 20 minutes after that, the mom turned down the heat, took the pots off of the burner, put 3 plates out in front of her daughter. And on the first plate, she placed the carrot that had been in the boiling water. And on the second plate in front of her daughter, she placed the egg that had been boiled. And on the third one, she placed a saucer and poured the water that had had the coffee grounds in it. And she said, "Okay, daughter, go ahead and touch the carrot. Tell me, what does it feel like?" And the daughter said, "Well, it's all kind of smushy, and kind of mushy and soft." I said, "Okay, now feel the egg. Peel back some of the shell. What's happened to the inside of the egg?" And she said, "Well, man, it's become real hard." I said, "Okay." And she said, "Okay, now pick up the saucer and the cup and take a drink of the coffee. Tell me, what does that taste like?" And the daughter drank the cup and she said, "Oh, Mom, it smells so good and the coffee just tastes so good." And the mom said, "Okay, daughter, which one of the 3 are you? Are you a carrot? Are you an egg? Or are you the coffee?" And the daughter looked at her mom and she was so confused, and I could just hear her in her little teenage voice say, "Well, Mom, what are you talking about? Like, what? Have you lost your mind? Like, what do you mean am I an egg?" And the mom said, "Daughter, all 3 of these things went into boiling water. The heat was turned up on them. The egg, or it went in fragile, didn't it? The egg went in fragile, but it came out really, really hard. The carrot went in hard to that boiling water, but it came out really fragile. It's just kind of mushy now. But she said, the coffee, daughter, the coffee is the one that is different than the other two, because the coffee infiltrated what was around it, and it infiltrated the water around it, and it made the water better, and it came out smelling good, didn't it? And it came out tasting good, but all three went in to the pot of boiling water, and all three had a different reaction. So daughter, I know the water of life around you seems boiling. It seems like it's hot, but are you going to come out of it as the carrot, as the egg, or are you going to come out of it as the coffee? I pray you're going to come out of it as the coffee. And man, that story just really hit me, because I thought, wow, the water's been extremely hot around me this year. It's been boiling. Am I coming out of it as the carrot, as the egg, so hard and cut off? Or hopefully, have I come out of the grief, or am I coming out of the stresses of just moving and parenthood and all family things that have been going on? Hopefully smelling a little better, hopefully spreading that aroma of the hope that I found and the comfort and the strength that I found in Jesus Christ. Am I leaving a good taste in the mouths and the hearts of those that I've come in contact with? So I'm not saying this all today so that now you'll leave me these comments like, oh no, Tracy, you totally be a coffee girl. No, yeah. No, I'm not trying to build myself up, but I think the Lord really wanted me to pause there and see. And I want you to pause there and see, because this year it's just life. The water's probably going to get turned up on us a little bit. We might get a little boiling, but we have a choice. Are we going to be a carrot? Are we going to be an egg? Or are we going to be the coffee? So thank you for letting me share this past year with you. I pray, again, that somehow you've grown closer to Jesus in our time together. And I look forward to the year of 3-8 and what it's going to bring. So God bless you, and have a great rest of your day.